I'm doing a video.
Oh no.
So, good afternoon. Welcome to Red River North Tourism Showcase. Today we are here with Peter and Joyce, and Peter and Joyce raise monarch butterflies. They're going to share with us how they got started, a little bit about themselves, and a little bit about their monarch butterfly. Hi, Joyce and Peter. Welcome.
Hi.
So, Joyce, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get Peter to tell us about himself before we get into the monarch butterflies.
Okay, how personal do you want me to get?
As much as you're comfortable being posted on YouTube with.
Yeah, right. Well, I've lived in the area here for 54 years, and I used to be on a farm. My first husband died, and so I stayed here. We had subdivided, and so we're just living on a lot here. And yeah, I love it here. It's beautiful, even in winter, although I love the green. But yeah, I actually hail from southern Manitoba, around the Altona-Gretna area. But I went to the city. I was 16 and started my life there. And then from there, I came here. I also worked for the Manitoba government at the Selkirk Mental Health Center and the Selkirk General Hospital. But I've been retired since 2003. And so I'm loving life, especially in retirement. Yeah. So yeah, about in 2017, Peter and I met, and it didn't take long before we were gathering butterfly larvae and whatnot. And yeah, it just kind of happened. We didn't even hear about it really, although a cousin of mine in Winnipeg also does this. And so yeah, it's great fun, and we look forward to starting to collect. Yeah.
Excellent. So Peter, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Okay, I'm Peter J. Dick, and I herald from southwestern Manitoba, from Boise area. That's where I grew up as a kid until I went to university, and then went into teaching, and I taught for 32 years and then retired in 1997. Well, I've had almost 23 years of retirement and enjoying every minute of it. In fact, I don't call it retirement, I call it retreadment, because after that, I went back to school and I got my master's and University of CMU. And now I'm doing some chaplaincy work at when they allow me as a volunteer in the hospital. And so enjoying the life out in the country. I've always been a country bumpkin, and you just can't take the farmer out of the kid. So I love it here, and having a blast with my sweetheart here with Joyce, and we're loving every minute of it.
As you said, Joyce, that it was just you just kind of fell into collecting the butterflies and larvae. So explain a little bit about your operation to us, either Joyce or Peter, whichever one.
Go ahead, Joyce.
Oh, yeah, I think we must have heard it from somebody. I can't remember, but anyway, we heard about these little larvae. I think maybe from Niamasi, because yeah, so we started looking for them on the milkweed along the road here when we went for a walk. We go for daily walks at least once a day, and yeah, so we got started that way, and then we got really excited when they wove their little cocoons, and then eventually out came a butterfly. Well, that was the biggest thrill, I'm telling you. So anyway, we got quickly addicted, and now we're really looking forward to when they come back and lay their eggs. And we've planted milkweed on our property too, hoping that they'll, find them. Yeah, Peter.
Something that the farmers will be very happy to know that we planted milkweed on our property. We have 3.5 acres here, so if we get it all full of milkweed, that would be quite something.
Yeah. so you just go into your yard and gather the larvae. So where do you take the larvae, and do you put them in a contained space? Do you have a shed, or what do you do?
Right on our patio. We
Oh.
have a huge, what do you call it? Plastic container. I want to say, the plastic containers with a lid. Okay. So what we do is punch holes, or we have actually a frame with a screen so that they can't escape once the once we have the larvae. Well, hey, they tend to crawl, right? So we want to contain them, and then when they spin their little cocoons, then we know where they are. We've had a few escapees. I think I sent you a picture of one who was outside on the siding, yeah, doing his thing. And so we like to keep them contained, and we also have to provide them with fresh milkweed all the time, because they eat voraciously. Like they're just like, oh my gosh, and then they grow big. Like they might be tiny, like maybe, I don't know, this long when we get them. And then when they get big enough to spin their cocoons, they are like nice big fat worms. So
Like a good pencil plus, like a pencil in thickness, and then about I'd say about as long as your finger, a little finger. And they poop a lot. We have to every day. We have to clean out clean out the container almost every second day. So it's high maintenance.
And I understand from doing some other research on them, you have to be careful with the wasps, as the wasps like going into the cocoons. And
yes, indeed, yeah. They lay their eggs inside the larvae, and we most often, well, we don't know if that has happened.
Right.
So in the long run, once they spin their cocoon, and then it takes forever, it seems, for them to open up, to emerge, then we find they don't, because they've been impregnated by a wasp. Yeah. So, Peter, you got anything to add to that?
Well, that's right on.
Yeah. All right. So then, how many monarch butterflies do you get usually?
Well, there isn't a usually, because the first 2 years, I don't know, I think we got maybe 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but last year was bumper. Like we got 215, I think. Yeah, that came out. It's 200. It's around that area anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had people come here. This grandma with her two granddaughters, and also her daughter-in-law. They were from Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they were quite thrilled with all of it, and we sent them home with 2 larvae, and they hatched somewhere between here and there, because they were going.
Yeah, we had some other people too that would come, like they
Yeah.
happened to know about this, and we tried to plan in such a way that one of the cocoons is just ready to hatch. And we say, listen, if you come in the next hour or 2 hours or so time, we'll probably have one, but otherwise take your chances. It may happen or may not happen. But for the kids, well, adults too.
Adults, I think, almost more.
I
so
think
than
so.
the kids.
Sometimes the adults sit here longer than the kids do. It is actually an intriguing process to watch this little butterfly come out.
Yeah, or even with the spinning of the cocoon.
Yeah, we don't see
It's
that
just
too.
totally amazing. It takes
Yeah.
them no time at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they connect themselves to with a little kind of string of some sort. I don't know, like, and they just attach themselves to anything that's above them, so it's, they can hang, and they proceed to curl up, and then they start to spin, and you can see the bottom part is finished, and then they keep going, and all of a sudden that's gone. The larvae is gone, and it's a cocoon. Beautiful. Yeah.
And we can tell when they're going to hatch, because before they hatch, like when the cocoon is first formed, it's green, beautiful green. And then all of a sudden starts changing
That's right.
colors and you say, oh, we're close. And then right near when it's close to the end, we'll actually see the butterfly wings through the membrane of the cocoon. You can actually see them.
Okay.
And it's amazing how big that butterfly is. When you look at that little cocoon and you see this big butterfly come out of there. It's quite amazing, actually.
Then when it is finished, when it does come out, it's wet. Okay.
That's
So
right.
it takes about an hour or two for it to dry off. Yeah.
Yeah. And they can't move. They can't even fly. They just barely move when they come out. Their wings are so wet. And then when they dry, then away they go.
Way to go. So obviously a monarch butterfly is very noticeable by the colors and that, but is the larvae just as vibrant and noticeable as the
Well, the larvae is beautiful. The larvae is nice colored. It took us a while to recognize them, but they got yellow stripes on them,
and
which
green.
are quite bright.
It's green.
And
right?
well, green and yellow. There's
Yeah.
green and yellow, like as they go on. So you can notice them. So they're quite colorful.
But not the bright orange that you see.
No.
But you see, because they eat the milkweed, which is toxic, but not to them, then when they come out as a butterfly, and I actually saw this, a bird came zooming towards it, and it just spread its wings wide, and that bird was like, it turned around on a dime. It like, forget it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They recognized that it was going to be toxic. Yeah.
oh,
If they
Yeah.
eat that, it'll be, yeah, very bad for them.
okay, very interesting. So that
Yeah.
milkweed actually not only feeds it but protects it.
Yes, that's right.
Any suggestions if somebody wanted to start collecting their own larvae and create their own butterfly hatchery, so to speak?
Right. Well,
Well-
just get started, and if they want ideas, they can they can get in touch with us, I guess, and we can give them some hints and tricks of the trade. But basically, all you need is a water supply for the milkweed, so that the monarch, like the larvae, cannot crawl into the water. That has to be
'Cause
covered,
it'll drown.
or else
Yeah.
they'll drown in there. They go in there and they drown every time. But if you put the milkweed into the water, we start off with styrofoam cups, actually, with a lid on it. Just put the thing and just put the cup or with a larvae on the milkweed and put it in a container so that worm can't escape, or that larvae can't escape, because they will move.
We got quite creative with that.
Oh, yeah.
I
So you
bet.
got to put a lid on, but you can't put a lid so that there's no air. They also have to have air. So you can't do that. So, no.
And you said that they eat milkweed voraciously. So, I mean, you're just constantly feeding them and feeding them and feeding
Right.
them and feeding
Yeah.
Yeah,
them.
our friends in Winnipeg, they have their garden is that last year he almost ran out of milkweed.
Oh, wow.
We have lots of milkweed in the area here. We just go for a walk and there's milkweed everywhere. So we have no problem with that.
All right. Anything else? I know we talked about predators, wasps and stuff. Anything else that obviously birds don't like the smell or aroma of milkweed, so that keeps some of them away. Any other predators that monarch butterflies need to beware of?
Not really. I would just encourage people to get involved. Apparently the stock in Mexico went down by 25% this year.
Oh, gosh.
They had a bad winter. So we're wondering how many are going to be coming back for us here. But last year we had sightings of butterflies almost every day, where you'd see the monarchs in our backyard or where we'd go walking. But 2 years ago, we sell them, so it was a marvel to see one. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe we're making some difference.
Yeah, excellent. And any other butterflies that happen to get caught into your into the milkweed and into different things that people might, be interested in, not just monarchs or?
What is that? What is
Well,
the
we
one
had-
that goes on dillweed?
There's one that grows on dillweed,
What is it
and
again?
we tried that one last year, and we struck out.
Yeah,
that
we
one
failed on that one.
Larvae died on us. I don't know what it is, but
Oh, I forget.
it's on. You see, the thing is, most people are unaware of how these things. They're so small, these larvae at the beginning,
Like
and
just a dot.
yeah, like they're small, like a dot on a pencil, the end of a pencil. That's how small they are. And you have to really look carefully under the leaf to find them, till you know what you're looking for.
So
Yeah.
under the leaf, so you actually have to turn the leaf over to take a look
No,
at it?
yeah, sometimes you just,
Yeah.
we are getting good at it. You can see them almost from a distance already, not the small ones, but the bigger ones.
Mhm.
And, but the real little ones, oh, that's, I put on my glasses for that, for sure.
And yeah, and how much time does it take? Does it take a lot of time, or just kind of a labor of love? You don't even really notice it.
That's it. Labor of love.
Yeah, well, you have to clean out the bin. That's a big thing. And we go on our walks anyway, and then we spend a little extra time looking for them. And so it's all part of the adventure. If you were to put an hour number on it, I don't think you could really.
Yeah. Is there anything else? I mean, I'm not familiar. I have
No.
never collected or bred butterflies. Is there anything else you'd like everybody to know, or?
Just encourage people to do it. It's lots of fun.
Well, we love it.
And educational. You learn a lot, actually. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I bet. And they're absolutely gorgeous. They're absolutely
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's beautiful. I mean, when you have like those, when that butterfly comes out, quite often I'll put it on my finger and just watch it while it's on my finger. It may not be dry yet. So depending how much time I got, I'll just let it sit there until it's ready to fly. But if I have something else to do, well, I'll just put it back on the leaf or wherever. And
Often on the screen. We
right
have, yeah.
off, like we have a screen around our patio, just put it on the screen and it sits there until all of a sudden it's dry enough and away it goes.
Now, does it just dry in the air, or does it need
Yep.
sun,
Yeah.
or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, just air.
yeah.
Yeah.
The sun makes it go faster. And there's only one problem. When they leave you, they don't say goodbye or they don't say thank you. They just take off.
I'd like to put caution though, never ever try to help that butterfly out of the cocoon.
Right.
Because then they will not survive.
They won't make it.
Yeah.
They have to have that journey. And it's quite a journey. When you watch them, that poor little thing is struggling.
Yeah. We never tire of it. Like
Yeah.
all the stages are just fantastic. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us and
Sure.
your pictures. So we have pictures that you've sent to us that I'm going to include at the beginning and the end of the interview, which will share your journey with our viewers so that they can
Super.
see exactly what you've talked about here. It really is spectacular. There's a couple of pictures.
Sure.
The colors of a brand new monarch butterfly are extremely vibrant,
Mhm.
unbelievable. So thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else that you can think of, other than people to be careful and to enjoy and respect the life of the monarch butterfly, I'm going to
Right.
say goodbye to you now. And
Okay.
Well, nice meeting you, Heather.
nice
All the
meeting you,
best. Okay.
All the
Take
best.
care.
and thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.